Big Wit. Hello, good people of the world. Hello, good people of Eire. Donegal. I'm sure.
Darren Anthony is on Dom. Good
man. Good man. I love it. Every little helps. So today is Friday, the 26th of January 2024. So myself and Darden haven't really done much content in the last while. And we've had a couple of assemblies up at Leinster House. So we're having assembly number 3 on the 17th of February at the Mansion House at noon. And all are welcome. We're trying to build an independent people's movement opposing the state. And that's it. No political affiliations, no top tier telling people what to do. It's independent. That's the message.
Yeah.
So we just thought we'd do a bit of video and try and do a little bit more content and just put it out to the universe and see how she goes. So I'll let Darden say hello. Go on, Darden, speak.
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose it's just to go with what Dennis just said there. Like, that's what we're trying to do, is set up some kind of a gathering where you're actually independent and not just of Irish nationals, but of allies too. Like, there's a lot of people in this country from different countries, Poland, different Germans, you have Russians here, and there are a lot of good people, like, so we're calling on them also. But what we're about is just trying to step into that nationality, that you're an Irish national or whatever it may be, but we have to oppose this state, and we have to be able to do it in a way that we're not being again, get rid of the party whip, I suppose. There's no standing on a pedestal looking down at others, like, because them days have to go.
Yeah, that's a big belief. It's a big aim of our group, I suppose, is to try and kill the party whip or make a dent in the party whip, because the party whip is a big problem in Irish society, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's massively, Donegal. It's massive, like, and like it's mad, like, because there's always going to be that bit of leadership naturally, right? We're going to have that naturally, but I think it should be from people who is elected by the people instead of being selected by a small few. And it's there's so much going on around the country today, boy. It's mad to watch. There was meant to be a great thing called for the 5th there, and I think it was called even. I think we were speaking there a few weeks ago, and I think we called it even before this happened with the counter protest at the Euston Station. Well, not a counter protest or a gathering, but there's another one at Euston Station on the same day, and then there's a counter protest by the lefties on the same day too. So it's mad to watch, man. It's hard to see.
Hang on a second. Just go back a little bit, because I haven't really got the full. Not many people ring me, Darren. You know yourself.
Okay. Go on. Sorry, Donegal. So on the 5th, remember the last gathering that we had in Dublin?
East Wall says no. Group called the National Mobilization.
Whatever his name is. Yeah. So they called a gathering, and I remember you said it to me. It's strange the way it can be all over, like the Liberal has it, and it's all over. Big social media outlets within a few hours, like. And here you have now a few days ago, the left called for one of the TVs. I can't think of his name, but he called for a counter protest, asking people to come and counter what was being said by us, I suppose.
They're meeting at the Spire, aren't they, at 1 o'clock or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure where that is, but I know where the other one was the Garden of Remembrance. But then yesterday I seen that there was and somebody else had put up something that there's actually an independent protest and non-political affiliated at Euston Station. So that's like 2 conflicting ones at the same time, and then you have another one from the lefties at the same time. So it's like we're bashing off each other, and then we also have them bashing off it as well.
Very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad to watch, like. But look, I suppose as time goes on, people will expose themselves, and they'll be exposed for what they are, and time will tell that. It always has.
100%, yeah.
But I don't know. There's a lot of good people up in East Wall. There's a lot of good people up there that are fighting for the right causes and the right things. But I just believe probably it's the same everywhere. It's just getting misled and brought down different avenues by people who don't have our best interests at heart, you know.
I was talking to Alan Reese about 2 weeks ago, just before we went to Leinster House, actually. And that's his kind of area. So Alan's up to date on that. So I was kind of asking him about that. And there was words at the start where the word came out that outsiders in the far right now weren't welcome, but that was said to them at the time to take that, to rescind that, you know what I mean? So it's a very interesting space.
I think they were asked, Donegal, I think they were asked to attend a meeting the other night. Somebody texted, says the, what you call them, East Wall Says No group, and asked them would they come down and give a bit of support to somewhere else. And they said no. So, like, I think there was a bit of confusion there. I'm not too sure. But it's watching it all, like, when you sit back and observe it all and not immerse yourself in it, like, you know, you can actually see, like, that there's just so much confusion. Everybody's looking for the answers, like, everyone's looking for a way out. We're all fucking struggling, like, to the mother at home, to the, you know, the family, everyone is. And I think we're willing to kind of latch on to the best thing, the best solution, or the best way that we see out of it that suits our needs at that time. And but it's just, where do you go with it? Like, you know, it's just so fucking much of it, like, going around the country, ain't there?
Yeah, it's slightly hectic, all right, when you observe it. You know what I mean? Well, come here, you can only do what you can do, you know. And as I said, like to you earlier before we start pressing record, like, we've been around, man, and you know, our message is independent, and we have gatherings, and we've been in many groups along the way.
Yeah.
When we say groups, we mean, like, you know, WhatsApp groups and stuff like that, and the Bunrock crew and all that stuff, all that information. The Hold the Line crews and all that stuff. We're all connected, more or less. You know what I mean? But we're having a tour assembly on the 17th, and it'd be great to see some people there, because it's very disheartening the last couple of attendances, to be honest. But you can only do what you can do as well, Darren, you know, and drop seeds out and hopefully meet some good people along the way.
It was a little bit disheartening to see so little people there, but you know, the right people were there. A lot of people, great people with good hearts, and a lot of great fucking people who really want, you know, to change. They really want change, like. And as I was saying, everyone's looking for answers, like, and we need to be coming up with solutions now, and proper ones. And you know, there's so much going on, by, like, you know, there's so many different things. You have the housing, you have the immigration at the moment, unvetted, you know, the vaccines, the masks, all of this stuff is happening at the one time, like.
Yeah, and people doing great work fighting it, but they're fighting it in their own little kind of splinter group, you know.
Exactly, like,
if we can get all the splinter groups to kind of
come together and see that
fighting, but you know, realize that it's a problem caused by the state.
Yeah, even if it was once a month or something, that the people from each groups and the you know, the people who's actually leading these different groups and leading different parties or whatever it may be, that they could talk or come together, that just once a month, just put the differences aside and just get all your followers and all the people out at the one day, at the one time, because it's really badly needed a fucking strong show of support between us all, between all the groups and all the parties, all the different, you know, different things. It's because there's too many different things, and people feel people feel like, I see, like, that, like, you know, if you're talking, if your gig is the libraries, or your gig is the Hold the Line, or whatever it may be, that others won't do that then. You know, others won't talk about that. They won't make videos about that, because that's your gig, or that's that person's thing, or that's their thing, or that's their thing. But we have to understand that it's affecting us all. And, you know, all of these things are affecting us. So we shouldn't feel that we can't speak about any of them. If someone else is speaking about it, it's affecting us all, and we all have to share that load, like. So we all have that, like, you know, if someone else is doing one thing and they're fighting, they're doing good stuff, that's okay, but we have to take it on board too, that we can start doing the same, and people not get all caught up in it and fucked up on their feelings over it that someone else is doing what you're doing, you know.
Yeah. Go on, talk about what you were doing in your town the last couple of days.
Oh, well, with Frances, I've got a friend here. She's over from Indonesia. She started off with us here in Kilkenny. She's an English lady. Her mother is Irish. But she has a house here in Kilkenny, and she had a couple of people renting it, and they weren't paying her the rent. So she came home, and she got rid of them anyway. But I done a little video where I'll throw it up after this or this evening, tomorrow maybe or something. I'll get a chance. And she started off in Kilkenny a few years ago, going to one or two meetings. Then she came to the very first Bunrock meeting that was in Phoenix Park. She came to that on Easter Sunday. Then she done the schools, put all the schools on notice in Kilkenny. And now she's out and she corrected her status. She done all that stuff. And now she's out in Indonesia. And she's after gathering a group of locals out there, Donica. A little tribe. She showed me a little video. And they're all writing the letters because out there, Bill Gates has released 2.5 million, I think, mosquitoes, genetically modified mosquitoes. And she's out there now fighting this and trying to stop that from progressing out there, I suppose. So she's gone international with it all, yeah. So we've been here with her the last few days helping her. I went out yesterday around my local estate talking to a few people about, just things about, trying to figure out what's really hurting people locally. What are they feeling like? Mainly where I live now, a lot of them said they'd love a playground over here or a football pitch with access to it for the kids, like.
Yeah.
So, but like, yeah, other than that, yeah, I've been just kicking away, Donica,
Yeah. Similar myself.
Yeah.
Just thought we'd
Trying to
keep
keep
going.
my head busy, boy.
Yeah, well,
You
you have to sort your shit out. You have to sort your head out as well. In your own space and your own time.
Yeah, you do, boy, you do.
And you have
I
to
tell
keep,
you, like,
you have to keep trying to enjoy life as well. You know what I mean? And being the
it's
positive
hard.
man.
Yeah, I find it hard. I struggle sometimes with that, brother, because sometimes, like, look, we all probably feel the same, but sometimes when I'm here and I'm, deep into reading or I'm deep into doing some fucking study or whatever it may be, and then I go onto Telegram and I look on it and I see what's happening, and I'm like, for God's sake, lads, how long is it going to take? Like, there's, women after getting raped, men after getting raped, gay men beheaded, children being stabbed, women being murdered. What's it going to take for us to for that point, like, where we say, fuck that, like, this is it, we're taking over RTE, or we're going to take over the radio station, some radio station, wherever it may be, and we're going to start putting it out on the air, and we're just going to go, old school on it. And I know, realistically, like, because I'm a bit of a realist as well, like, realistically, the technology that these people have today, like, we probably wouldn't stand a chance.
You'd probably be done with domestic terrorism,
Exactly. But however, like, I feel that if we don't take a stand now, and if we don't fight this now, we're fucked. Our children and our grandchildren will bollocks. My young lad was here today with his son, my grandson, and I had him in my arms, boy. And I was just looking at him, and I was thinking, like, in 30 years or 20 years, what's life going to be like for you?
Yeah.
Like, are you going to be able to have the freedoms like what we have today, of being able to get up like this on this and speak our minds and speak how we feel?
Yeah.
Are they going to have them luxuries, like? Because, I don't mean that. Yeah, I don't mean now that talking and speaking your mind and speaking openly how you feel is a luxury, because it's not a luxury, it's actually a right. But I mean, are they going to have those rights back in 20 years' time, in 30 years' time? It's mad. It's hard to tell. Look how quick things are going.
This is the battle, They're willing to take it they're willing to take it to very dark places, these people,
Oh, you can clearly tell that with them. They don't have no conscience, a lot of them, don't they? Not like they're just, yeah.
There's a lot of darkness out there, in the ruling class, let's call them. Historically, And presently, you know, there's a lot of darkness comes out of the system, out of the state, like a lot of abuse, a lot
It's
of.
all the money, Donica. I believe the money changes people, boy. It changes them. Whether they're born evil and they're like that originally, or you know, the money they get, taste the money and they get greedy, and you know, and that's it. That all conscience goes out the window. Then, like, you know, that fucking some people would sell their mother, like.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was watching a thing last night, an interview between the former American, what do you call him, the Aryan Brotherhood.
Yeah.
From 90, he was locked up when he was 22 for murders that he, like, you know, he didn't commit. He says, and he passed polygraph tests and all this stuff, and he got involved in trying to, you know, get his name out of the case by telling the truth. But he ended up getting 45 years in prison. He was just talking about his life story, and he was just saying, like, the truth of the matter is, like, you know, the amount of money might need to be raised and raised and raised, but money can corrupt the incorruptible. You know what I mean? Enough money, like.
Does, boy. The money is the money is the root to all evil, don't they?
Well, that's why that's when someone says, "I'm just doing my job." That to me is what that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're just doing it for the money, like.
And they know it's wrong.
About how you feel.
They know it's wrong morally, and they know it's wrong. It's just wrong. But you know, I'm just doing my job. That's basically the same. That's corrupting yourself and who you are.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, for a few quid. Like, some people will do it for 30 quid an hour. Some people will do it at the highest level for millions, and you know yourself.
Yeah. That's it.
Money's the root of all evil, I believe.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's all. It's mad, really, when you see, you know, even now, around what's happening around the country. Like, it seems everybody just wants to charge money for, whether it's for children on this, or you have to pay for this paperwork, or you have to do that, and it's.
Yeah.
I understand people have to get a few quid, like, but when it's only costing you like nothing to fucking stamp a piece of paper, like, and write a name on it, like, you shouldn't be charging people big bucks for it, or for, you know, we should be all trying to help each other out at this time, like, you know, everyone is struggling, and the amount of people that's awake or have been doing things for a while is not really that many if you think about it, like, you know. So, like,
well, as we're saying, money corrupts the incorruptible. You know what I mean? And that's it's the same with me. And I don't mean to be offensive to anybody, but you know, someone who would be a very staunch patriot, let's call them, and would know that the system has to fall, and knows that it's a very evil, dark system, but they make financial gain out of the information that they're giving out.
Yeah, like, all the information is free, lads. It doesn't cost anything to do a bit of research, and all the stuff that's being taught is all the stuff that you can get for free, all that knowledge. Yeah, but you just have to take the time to study it.
There's lots of people making money out of it, isn't it?
Yeah, and look, like, I don't, like, I'm not knocking and saying a lot of these people are ripping people off, like, or anything, you know, because a lot of them are doing good work and waking a lot of people up and sowing the seeds, like, and that's what I suppose what at the end of the day, that's what it's about, no? But when you're charging people big bucks, and, you know, like, it gets a little bit, like, disheartening. You're saying, are these people really in it for the good, right reasons, or is it just money that they're here for, like? And, you know, I'm just, well, I just fucking, I see things, Donegie, you know me, brother. If something bothers me, I'll just say it, like, I don't care, but, you know, as I said earlier, if it hurts your feelings, that's your bag, not mine, like. You know, I try and be respectful as I can and asking things, but, like, we shouldn't be afraid to do that, you know, either, like, you know.
Yeah, you shouldn't be afraid to ask a question, or you shouldn't be afraid to speak the truth.
No.
You know, if it offends people, that's, as you said, it's not nice, you know. Nobody likes offending people, you know, or being a prick, like. No. But, yeah. If just saying what you feel offends people.
Yeah. I think, like, even the open debate, like, the open having a debate between us, even, like, that kind of is not even as much as you would see, even, wouldn't it not? Like, you never really see, like, you know, two different parties, people from two different parties, or different leaders of groups, or different headed groups getting together and having it, you know, putting it on the table, like, and saying, right, everyone, this has been said about me, or this has been said about, is that true, or is that true, or is that true, and clearing all the bullshit up for once and for all, like.
Yeah,
having that open.
did you see people go into groups and then that's what happens in society. It becomes a little bit of a cult or whatever. And their group is the best group, and there's so many groups, and it just happens. You know, it's the same effect in football. Same with football. Some people pick Liverpool, some people pick Man United, like, and get real into that madness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and that's what I was saying, Dennis. I suppose that's the beauty about us. You know, we have free will, and we're all different, and we all have different opinions, and we all have different things, and it's okay to be like that. It's okay not to think the same as somebody else, or not to, you know, that's okay. Like, it's all right to disagree with people. Like, I don't agree with some things that we might talk about, you know, or you mightn't agree with some things that I'd say, but still, I class you as my mate, like, and I can sit down and have a beer with you, or I sit down and have, you know, and we can have a chat, like, we can have a proper conversation, like, I don't, you know, that seems to be a little bit not the way it should be these days. I believe, you know, we should be a little bit more transparent in what we're doing, and a little bit more transparent in having these conversations.
Do you think all the boys and girls that were involved in 1916 were all sitting there and saying non-offensive things and not disagreeing and not shouting and not getting very, very, very passionate? Like, of course, you know, it's passionate stuff we're talking about.
Yeah, it's like people's feelings and emotions are getting hurt, and you know, we're just asking the questions, and, you know, don't be targeting people as defensive, or you're very defensive, or you're very argumentative just because they're asking a question. You know, I'm sure people are probably pissed off. I'm sure some of the IRB heads are probably pissed off at me asking the same question about the 1919 Constitution. But I'll just keep asking that question until I get an answer, like, you know, and an answer that actually, a proper answer, not just a brush over, like. Because that's what it's about. Like, it's about trying to get to that. Like, and I'm not just saying that with the IRB, but I'm just saying with anybody, with any group or party. With the Irish Freedom Party, was the Constitution that they were using, the Blue Book. You know, why are they using that when they know it's a corporate book? Like, you know, just things like that, and just asking them questions. We should be allowed to ask that, because we're all shouting at the government. We're asking for accountability, and we're looking for full transparency within all the government bodies, and we want it all, right? And you have people who's stepping into that arena, who's wanting to become politicians and starting up political parties, and you have political parties, but are we getting transparency from them? Because they're asking for transparency from the government, but they're stepping in there and they're not willing to give transparency. So you can't be asking for it and not willing to give it, like. That's where I'm at, like.
That's what happens when parties are created. They have their party meetings, and they formulate their party plans, and they have their party views, and people generally toe the party line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or maybe I'm wrong, lads. Maybe it's just me. Am I a bit crazy by thinking this sometimes, or am I skeptical about stuff all the time? I don't know. Let me know, like, please let us know after this, you know, because, like, it's I believe
the party whip would be a great thing if we could target that and get people to.
It needs to go, Dennis. This thing of leadership, you know, this thing of leadership, and it all needs to go, because all that is like it's another system of governance, basically, and you're basically saying you want to be governed, and you're not able to look after your own life. You need somebody there to tell you things and what to do, and, you know, that's what I see from it. But for anybody, I strongly, like, for me, I danced with the idea of running as an independent for the last couple of weeks. You know that, right? And for me, it's just not for me, right? But if I was going to do it, it would be just for the simple fact of getting access to them meetings and being able to sit in there and just to make all of them feel awkward with me sitting there.
I think it's very important that people do that. I really do. Like, you know?
And I'd say I'd encourage any out there that if any of you are thinking of running, you know, run as independent. Don't
give us a shout. You know, we'll help you.
Yeah. Like, look, what we're doing, like, we're trying to put a platform there for people who are truly independent. No policies, no manifestos. You're your own man or woman. We're not going to tell you what to do. We're just there. It's just a platform. none political. It's none of these anything got to do with it at all. You're just your own man or woman. And I know you might say, yeah, what do you need that there for? What do you need to be there for then if we're our own man and woman? But if you had a little hub or a place you could go to that you know that there's another 20 people or another 30 people or even 10 people that's in the same position as you running as an independent, that you can bounce ideas off each other and you can kind of, help each other grow. But without the party whip, without being told that what you can and can't say, or without having to worry about what you say because it will reflect badly on the party that you're representing or what have you.
I think a party whip is very troublesome, even in the new parties. I'm not sure if they have party whips. If the Freedom Party or the National Party or Ireland First or the Irish People. But I know the Irish People have, 3-man executive, and if you say something out of order, you'll be out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's this is the thing. Look, no disrespect to any of the lads or anything like that, but these just are some things because a lot of us have been studying over the last few years, and we've come to see a lot of the stuff what is being said that we're asking questions about it, and surely we deserve that respect back with answers given. Just what you said there.
If we can attack the party whip, that would be a good thing, I believe, for society.
Yeah, because we have to be independent. We're asking for our sovereignty, and we're saying we want to be sovereign. We want to be an independent state, but we can't do it. We have to have somebody stand there and talk for us, and somebody to represent us, and whatever. When we're well capable of doing all that on our own, we just need to come together and stand shoulder to shoulder. That's it, and be equals,
Yeah, and that's not meaning to put any of the newer political parties down. He's most welcome at our gatherings, but our gatherings are non-political, I suppose, in the sense that we're not trying to. We're trying to keep it independent. Everybody's welcome, but there's no one pushing it.
Yeah. There's no agenda. We're not pushing any political party. We're not pushing any agenda. We're not pushing any independence. Again, we're talking about independence there, but we're not going to be pushing that. That's not going to be our one thing that we're focusing on. We're trying to get everyone together, and we're trying to rally the troops. There's no the Irish nationals and allies, us against the state. The state has to go. These people have to go, lads. The whole thing has to fall. They all have to crumble.
Yeah, the problem is so big that the people need the party. I believe the parties, the neo parties, need to come together as one, basically, and demand that there's no party whips among any of the new parties as well.
Yeah,
I think we can demand that as the people.
If the right people came together there, if the right little few people came together from the different parties, I can guarantee they would sweep this island in a month. They'd have the whole island following them. They'd have everybody behind them. If the right people did it, and showed a public show of solidarity, that we're standing together. We're not bickering. We're able to, as fucking grown adults, we're able to put our differences aside because there's a bigger objective here. It's bigger than us, or it's bigger than the party. It's bigger than that. And I think that's just my opinion, lads. I don't know. People might call me crazy and say you're full of shit, Darren. You don't know what you're talking about. But I'm just saying how I see it, and that's my opinion. And I'll keep giving my opinion, whether you like it or not. Now, how about that? How's it like them apples?
I'm just gonna have a quick look here for a second.
Okay, Dennis.
It's amazing to watch. All right. Oh, I've nothing there. I was just seeing if any videos are out. So that's really it, man. What we'll do is we'll just stick this one out.
And we'll do the same next week. And it'd be great if we could get other people to jump on as well. Like anybody else willing to jump on here for a couple of, jump on for an hour, a half an hour, and share what you think. People from other groups, that is, other parties, or even people who's running as independents. Please jump on and share your experience with everybody. Because I'd like to know myself anyway. I'm curious of how that whole thing goes. Like, I've been looking into it and stuff, but I'm curious of not what it's like for the party, but what it's like for you as an individual stepping into that system now. Like, you know, how is the head with that? Like, it's a big fucking thing to do when you're opposing the state and you're stepping into that arena. You're putting your face out there, and if you have a family and children and stuff, you have to be thinking about that too. Like, what way are your kids going to be in school? And yeah, you know what I mean, Donegal, your kids in school, your family, your wife, or whatever.
It would be nice though to get a few hundred of us around the country. Actually.
Yeah, it would be beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I believe, I think we all could if we all start growing veg locally. Have an area, if you can get a few people locally that you can get and start growing vegetables anyway. And at least that way you're covered for your food and you have that sorted if you have kids and a family. And then meet people, but meeting maybe in Dublin once a month, everybody. And then people from different parts of the country just meet. They could meet every week or whatever if local people. That's what I'd love to see happening ideally.
Because things are gonna roll on. Things are gonna roll on very quickly if we don't get our shit together and stop them.
The last few years is after going very quick, Dennis, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just scandal after scandal, like.
Yeah, man, it is, boy.
Like it's like current history is a scandal, and it just keeps rolling. Whereas it used to maybe cause someone a job, or it was sensational. Now you'd have a scandal that's like 2 weeks old, and then you'd have another scandal. And the scandal that's only 2 weeks old, that would have been a huge scandal years ago. It's just
gone.
Over. It's just brushed over, and another scandal, and then people's brains are just blown with information, and they can just put scandal upon scandal upon scandal.
So much, it's true.
Crazy. It's crazy. Like
I was looking at a video this morning of the first murder in Ireland, or the first televised murder in Ireland of this man. I tell you what, it's actually. Did you ever see another film, The Field?
Yes.
Well, it's the true story of that. Yeah, supposedly the guy. Does that really happened down in some part of Kerry or somewhere like that?
Right.
But back then there was this guy talking, and he was saying like when it happened, it was like the talking news of the whole island for like weeks and weeks and weeks, like. And now like it seems to be every fucking second day, like what you just said there. Like it's just once thing happens.
I was talking to a fella last night. I think he put a post up somewhere, and I seen it. And I just asked him where did he get his stats, and he said he got them on Guard, and he put the screenshots in, and he put the CSO stats. And then I think it was the year 2003 maybe, or 2005, right? 2003. There was 9 rapes in Ireland, right? And then last year there was 2,500 and something rapes in Ireland. So the chances of being raped for a woman is something like 270% higher than it was 10 years ago. Something like that's
the same as suicides, and all that stuff has gone fucking massive as well. Like, but the sexual assaults, Dennis, has risen. Just look at Germany, man.
I speak to locals, man, and they tell me, I can just think off the top of my head of two 18-year-old girls that I know, and another lady I've spoke to about it, and they're not comfortable walking around anymore, like at night time.
Yeah. I went over to my friend the other night here behind me. You know where I live.
In their head, like they don't feel safe.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad, isn't it? Like
it is. It is terrible, man. But the other night I went over to a friend of mine at the back of where I live, and I went up on the scooter. But she came out to the door, and she was it was just getting dark, and her daughter was gone to the shop with her friend. But when the daughter was coming back, she walks up the paths like. They're all lit up, like, but the young one ran the mother and bawling, crying, "Mommy, I think I'm getting followed. But it wasn't. It was just a man walking home from work. And the mother told me that she's like that all the time now. And she heard that.
This is real.
Because one of her friends, Dennis, here in Kilkenny a few months ago, some fella went for the child in the buggy, like. And since that happened, the child is terrified, like.
Yeah, it leaves a mark, But that's the truth. Now I've spoken to, as I said, them young ones, and that's how they feel in their own town.
It's
And
sad, isn't it?
yeah, I'm one of them. One of them is already like planning on emigrating to Australia as soon as she's done her nursing, and she's only starting her nursing, like, so she knows already. She
So
knows
she's
already that there's no chance of her living here in the future. Like,
shocking. You
very
see
sad.
Tom there. Yeah, you see Tom McDonald there. He made a video there
Yeah,
last week, I think, about his son. Like, wasn't that sad? Like, and his
very
son
sad.
saying he's
Yeah,
going off. He can't afford to get a house here, and you know,
very
and his
sad.
daughter. It's fucking
Yeah.
crazy, like that. We're being drove out ourselves, and you know, our replacements are coming in quick and fast. You know, so
Mm.
sad, like. But that's our country, Donica. You know, it's turned upside down, boy. It's not for us at all. Very hard for any Irish man or woman to, especially in their from their 20s onwards, man, to get a house, mortgage a house, if they have family. You know, it's difficult. And then if you're awake, if you're like us, you don't want to fucking mortgage a house, do you? Like, you know, you
Yeah,
don't want to
exactly.
do all that paperwork stuff. So where the fuck, you know, man?
90% of today's wealth is generational wealth. So if you're, wealthy and you're born into wealth, you don't have to worry about money ever. But there's a lot of people that their parents or their family have never had wealth. My mother and father have never had wealth. We never had wealth. Like,
I was the same.
so, like, we got boy. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? But 90% of wealth is inherited, and that wealth includes houses. So it's the wealthy who will have houses in
Yeah,
10, 20 years.
yeah.
But it's the likes of the working class children who will have to emigrate. It's very sad, man. It's very sad.
It is, man. Yeah, there's a house up there where my grandfather used to live, and your man bought it for €7,000 back in the early '60s or something like that, and it's worth like 250 now or something, 260.
Mm.
You know, but how is it even like? How is somebody young supposed to be able to pay for that when you're trying to go? You're trying to go to college. Your wages are shit. You know,
Yeah.
you're barely scraping by. You're living probably still.
You can't drive a car on a learner's license.
Yeah,
You can't get insurance on the car if it's over a certain age.
They make it
You
impossible.
You can't even drive. You can't even drive to college, like.
No, but you'll see. Yeah, but you'll see, Dennis. Right now, you see that's and that's why a lot of the Irish, I think, are feeling sore as well, because you have a lot of youth coming from other countries at the moment, and they're into college straight away. Not have to worry about to pay for it. They're driving around in cars, and they have no tax and insurance on it, and the guards are giving them a pass. You know, yeah, man, it fucking, there's a lot of. I'm sure there's a lot of people would agree with me to say that fucking it's a little kick in the hole when you're struggling trying to get your fucking food on the table for your family or whatever.
I seen an article the other day about Fianna Fáil making their campaigns aiming for the new arrivals.
Seen it.
Yeah,
the black fella.
Yeah.
You said it doesn't matter that where you live, it doesn't matter your address, like. And this is what I was saying earlier about why part of the reason I don't want to see you don't have to have a name now. You don't have to have your name. I was saying that to you, yeah, or an address. Well, he was the same, saying you don't have to. It doesn't matter your address, like that. You can still vote, which is wrong. I think that's unconstitutional. Like, it shouldn't be allowed, like that. People can just float into a country and vote. Because that has such a big impact for the people living there.
I believe they're just ramping it up so much because they have the Irish people divided at the moment still, and they're flooding it, and it's in overdrive now. But if they can get past a certain tipping point, then the Irish will be the minority politically in the nation. So it doesn't really matter because they'll have all the votes of all the new arrivals.
Look at the UK, Dennis. They're all fucking. And they'll never accept our religion, lads. Like, this is a Catholic country. Like, a Muslim won't accept our ways. Like, they will not adapt to our way of life. Like, so what do you think that's going to happen? Like you said to me the other day, Dennis, like, are we, and I said it this morning in a video, are we naive? Like, are we that naive or dumb to think that this country won't be taken over again at some point?
Yeah, well, I was saying to you about the paperwork, saying you're sovereign and saying this and that. I was saying, like, imagine if you're a Jewish man or woman and you're living in Amsterdam when the Nazis rolled into town. Do you think that piece of paperwork would have saved you? Like,
Yeah, so I'm a living man, or there's my card. I'm part of the Society of Peace. Yeah, could
Come
blow
on,
your
like,
fucking head off, you know.
yeah.
And it is going to come here, like it's inevitable. Like I was reading articles this morning. Now I know it's shit that from the fake stream media, like, but they're talking about telling the young lads, to get ready for conscription, like. So like, if that talk is going on in the UK at the moment, it's only obvious it's going to come here, lads. So like, we have to be
Yeah, but you have
prepared
to
for that.
you have to remember that Ireland government only signed up to the PESCO deal there a couple of years ago. Like, they signed up to the PESCO deal, and part of that deal is in the long run is a
What is the PESCO deal, Dennis? What is the PESCO deal?
The PESCO deal is kind of an initiative that was set up by Europe and countries. Ireland had a choice whether to go into it or not. But basically, what it was to create an arsenal or a defence system for Europe, and in the long run, having a European army, a generic army. And Ireland, the government gave, like, I don't know, 8 billion or something stupid to that fund, you know, for weapons. And so the goal is to have a Ireland in the European Union army. And
Yeah.
the government are already paying into that PESCO deal. It's called the PESCO deal, which is a pathway to it.
So that automatically,
all these new people coming in will be new UN soldiers, like.
Yeah.
So the Irish will be such a small minority that they'll be getting outvoted.
Yeah, I spoke with my uncle earlier about this. I said to him, war is coming. I said, you want to prepare by start doing a bit. I was messing with him. I say, you want to go out there and do a bit of jogging, you know, and lose a few fucking stone, like, because war is coming, like. And he said to me, we're a neutral country. But we're not, like, if we're part of this deal, like you just said, this PESCO deal, like that, we're not, like, when we joined the EU, we're part of that fucking NEFID, are we not?
Do you think many of the people that you know, the everyday Irish people that we grew up with now, do you think many of them would join or send their sons to join the European Army in 10 years' time? No. Well, some of them would. Some of them would. All the people that support the Ireland rugby team and Leinster and all, they'd send their children into the European Army. No problem.
Yeah.
Well, talk about the working class. Would the working class send their children into the European Army? I don't think so.
No, definitely not.
The new arrivals, they'll be looking for jobs in 10 years' time, and they'll need loads of soldiers. Like.
Well, is that what they're here for?
The PESCO deal.
Are they here to protect us? Like, are all these men here to protect us, or are they here to cause harm on us? Like,
well, Europe is Europe. You know, you will comply, or you will suffer the consequences in the long run, and that's the battle we have. And the Irish people are just not together enough, I believe, to stop that machine just yet. Like, that's the truth of it. Like.
It is, like, I believe that it's a big machine. I believe we will have the capabilities to shut down this country very fast. Between us all, that it could be done if we put our heads together and work together and made it happen, and send a message out there that we're not going to be bullied and we're not going to be forced to do things that we don't want to. But seeing that happen, yeah, you're right. It's far down the line, you know.
Very far down the line at the moment, yeah. Especially when you look at the 5th of February, and you said there's one gathering called. Now there's 2, then there's 3. Like.
Yeah. It's mad, like, yeah. It's sad to watch, though, you know, because it's so much.
We're on assembly number 3 of trying to get any group to join us to form an independent people's movement, and we can't get really. We got the Hold the Line crew, and we have Dave's Independent Alliance thing, and you know they have the ICT group from Tallaght. There's a few of us in there, like, but just waiting for a few more to come across, and.
They're there, Donnacha, you know, they're there. Like, there's a lot of great, good people, lads. There's a lot of good people, and there's a lot of people that are willing to fight. But I suppose the question that I'd like everybody to ask themselves, like, how prepared are you? Are you really prepared if it kicks off? Yeah, if tomorrow morning a fucking pickup load of fucking mad fucking heads with guns out the window start driving into your house in a state, how prepared would you be? You know, and this is the reality.
Hang on, I get me society a piece paperwork. Hang on.
Yeah, I saw my. But it's true.
It's very,
you know, and
this
is the reality of it, lads. We can't be naive. Dennis, you said this to me the other day, boy, and it really, like, it got me thinking, man, and it got me looking at stuff, and Yeah, man, we cannot really overlook this at all. Like these countries, as you say, someone said to you the other day about the French fucking thing. What was it? The
What?
French Olympics.
Oh, I watched the video. I was sent the video, and it was some off-gridder prepper or something, and he was saying that his intel and his information. Now I don't know who this fella is, but he was saying that he has information that during the Paris Olympics, that an event is going to happen across Europe, where the
No,
call
you
is
heard it here first. You heard it here first, lads.
where the call is going to go out between the Paris Olympics and the cells are going to activate. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen or it's true, but what I was saying to you was, do you think if that was to happen, that your paperwork would stop them?
No, it wouldn't, because I don't think it would. I think they'd just take your fucking head off anyway. Because this is bigger, lads, than like this is even bigger than this country, like, you know.
Yeah, it's global.
These people are really like sick fucking individuals. Like these are really sick motherfuckers. Like, and they don't care about killing you. Like
they're trying to take they're trying to take the Irish Republic into their web of deceit in the European Union and the WEF and WHO and all these corporate entities. That's what they're trying to do. Trying to take control of a supposedly an independent nation. And we have to either in this generation reaffirm our independence.
But it's not just the nation, Donica. It's not just the land, brother. They're going for people's bodies, man. They're pushing these fucking, you know, mRNA fucking vaccines, you know, into people without their consent. Like
I was reading an article there a couple of years ago, and at the time I can't remember, but I'm guessing, but it was around about this. 60% of Ireland's exports or business at the time was pharmaceutical business. So we're like a little cancer on the world.
Yeah, basically.
We're the headquarters of all the poison, like. And we're the headquarters of. So they've got it in a way that they've made it so appealing that all the vermin have come into the nation, and it's their headquarters now, and we have to try to kick them out. Or we don't.
Well, yeah. Well, I heard. I was reading New York there this morning about like the large majority of the jails all over in them countries are empty at the moment, along with the mental hospitals. I see India have deported like 1.something million immigrants. Where are they going?
So I see it's happening in America as well. Did you see it in America? It's happening as well.
Yeah, it's happening everywhere, Dennis. It's happening
in New York and Texas and stuff.
Yeah. We see the difference with us and America. American can defend themselves. The Americans can pick up arms, man. They have guns, like. Now, I know we can do it as well, but not legally.
Yeah.
You know, we risk getting arrested for doing stuff like that.
They were after their guns when Obama was the president as well, weren't they?
I know. And now we know why. Now you can see all why, like, you know. It's
I predict a civil war in America.
You know, and you can nearly fucking see a civil war happening here, man. Before that, you know, it's not a civil war, but I bet there is going to be a racial war. Something is going to kick off soon. Anyway, you can see, you can sense it, you can feel it in the air.
It could be. I believe it could well be an amplification of the. Do you remember the issue that was out in Clondalkin last year when the young fellas were all raiding the cop car and all that stuff?
Yeah.
I think that could possibly happen in this country. It mightn't even be an attack on the people, but I think it'll actually be the locals that might
attack on the guard.
Yeah, I think there will be an issue with the guards, maybe in how they handle a case, or it'll be exposed, like that young one there, the young one that was stabbed. There will be a case, or there will be an issue that will be exposed, and overnight it will cause uproar. And there's lots of people out there that don't like the guards. You know what I mean? Let's be honest.
There's a very lack of confidence in them, Donica. Yeah, big time. And I think they're aware of that too. You know, surely they have to be. They voted no show of confidence in their own fucking Yorkshire and Harris.
They're having awful trouble with the national gangs as well at the moment, you know.
I see they're going up in Clongar, up in Dublin there. I see that they're going around spraying the vans up there and stuff.
They're
All
having,
right, that's not
they're
that
having
stand.
Yeah, they're having awful trouble dealing with them kind of roaming gangs up the train tracks from Laytown up along the tracks there. You know,
Yeah.
Incidents happen in Balbriggan and all this stuff. You know,
Right.
there's
Yeah, I get you.
rival gangs and all this stuff
Oh, killing each other.
on the train. Yeah, around Mosney and all this stuff. You know.
See, that's all what they come because they're bringing all their baggage with them too, like, you know. And these people, some of these fucking fellas are serious heads, fucking army trained, you know. They're fucking thrown into the army when they're 18, like the large majority of them are training.
Well, and unfortunately, if there are people who are coming in and they've come from violent places of war or of different standards of what we expect. I remember speaking to a fellow one time when I was working in the clinic, and he was saying, like, when he's around with people, I said to him, because he was a black lad and he was a big black lad, and we called him Biggie.
Yeah.
And,
what do you call him?
Biggie.
All right.
Right. And I remember talking to him, and I was saying to him, like, did you get any hassle when you came here, like, when you were in the prisons or anything like that? And he says, well, I did start, don't get me wrong, but where I come from, like, I've seen things, and I've seen things.
Yeah.
And, like, if you want to fight me, you have to be prepared to die, like.
And that's the way they are, yeah.
There's no room for fucking, do you want to go there, like?
Yeah.
Because, like, he had scars from, you know, being attacked when he was a kid and over there and all.
Yeah.
So that's why he doesn't have many fights, because people know that at his level, from where he comes from, if you want to go there,
just kill you.
It's, you know what I mean. If you want to go there, it's not. He doesn't want to have a fight with you and then shake your hand after, like.
Yeah.
In fact, he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to fight with you at all. But, like, if you want to fight at his level, from his environment,
prepare to die,
killed, you know. That's how he was reared in the poor country where he came from in the Civil War, like.
Yeah. You see, Dennis, that's it. They're different, come from different parts of the world, brother, and there's different, like, you know, different way of life in some of these countries, like, you know.
These countries, man,
they kill you for a slice of bread, man.
Yeah, well,
they take the eyes out of your head for a slice of bread, man. Will you stop?
Yeah, well, these are countries were abused as well by the West and America for fucking decades now as well. So for every action, there's an equal but opposite reaction, you know.
Yeah,
you can't go around bombing all fucking people all over the Middle East and bomb people out and not expect a lashback when you kill their fucking mothers and fathers and children, like.
Exactly, yeah. And I suppose that's what, a part of it, that's what we're reaping now, I suppose. Because
we're reaping the Western war machine of the last 60 years, running away from where they came from, because they've ruined their governments, they've ruined their democracies, they've ruined them. They've salvaged all their oil, they took all the resources. And these people had to leg it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a shit way of life.
What's that fella, Donica, the English fella? He went off, he was a lord or something, I think he might be. He went off into the jungles there. He killed he used to chop people's hands off. He went off into the Congo or all of these places and he killed millions, like. I can't think of his name. But yeah, like, you know, this is the kind of stuff, they have all of that trauma, I suppose, at the white man, you know.
Yeah, Roger Caseman was working for the British, and he was walking out. He ended up, you know, he walked his way up to. He was working over in the Congo, and he was working for the English and kind of setting up the, you know, their towns and the train tracks and all that stuff. And that's when he seen the brutality over there.
Yeah,
and he came back to Ireland then and became a revolutionary. He wanted England out of Ireland, but he actually worked for the English until he went over there and seeing what they were doing, and then thought about Ireland and thought, "Fucking hell, man! The English are doing bad stuff." Like,
so he took the experience, like.
Yeah, so when he was being tried, then Roger Caseman was being tried. He was being tried as a former British. I think he had an award, like, or whatever, from, you know, for his work expanding the British Empire, like, in the foreign colonies.
Yeah.
So when he went over there, he's seeing what was happening, like, and then he looked back at Ireland and he thought, "Fuck, England are killing it. England are ruining everywhere." Like,
yeah, they're fucking.
So all them countries that were pillaged and raped by the West for the fucking marketism or the capitalistic culture that the West and America has over the last 50 years. All the colour screen TVs, big fancy cars. They all came from, like, Congo and fucking Kenya and Libya and Afghanistan, and they've wrecked all them countries. And that's why them people are having to leave them countries, and they come with an anti-Western psychosis because
that's right. Yeah,
they've damaged their whole fucking,
yeah.
everywhere.
I was reading an article there where the English they took all these diamonds and jewels from some place out in Africa, and at the moment they're lending them back to them through the museums, So the English Museum is lending the stuff back to this place, and all the people are giving out saying, "How the fuck can you lend us back what's already yours? Like you robbed it on us."
They caused all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
It's a plan. It's a planned agenda, like.
Yeah. Like if the English had it left,
our government are like allies to these people now in the EU.
They are, Dennis. Our government are not for the people, and it's very clear by the way the Irish people are being treated at the moment, and not just at the moment, but we've been treated like this a long time.
Yeah.
A long time. But yeah, it's become more clear now, and I think the social media probably has helped in a way as well. Like, it's backfired on them probably.
Well, it's the Great Awakening when you look at the files, Julian Assange, like with the Wikipedia files, he's still in prison, like. But it's the age of information, man. We know fucking so much corruption now, and so much greed, and so much suffering. And as I was saying to you, scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal.
Yeah.
But they just have the people just fucking all over the place, And the Irish nation haven't found their voice, like,
We haven't, like, we have our voice. We have a voice, Donica. We just haven't found we just haven't found that harmony. That's all, brother. The Irish people are proud people, and the Irish people are strong people.
I
don't think
they've neglected the likes of us, and our fathers and mothers have neglected the political system for generations. So what you have is you've got two ways of life on the island. You've got the wealthy way of life, which is great. GDPR is great. There's loads of money being made. Generational wealth is great. But then you've got the kind of poorer people, like. And everything's being taken, and it's getting harder to live and get by and heat the house.
And that gap is more evident now, isn't it? Like than it was before. It's
the biggest transfer of wealth in mankind's history. This is,
See the money that these cunts are getting paid, Donica. To see the money they're getting paid, like millions and millions and millions. That GAA boss, that fucking scumbag, he's after getting millions, housing these immigrants. It's all a human trafficking scam. Is what it is.
Yeah.
It fucking sickened me, man. It does, Man, but look, it is what it is. There's so much stuff going on, but you get so caught up in it because you don't know what to be fucking. You go from one to the other, to the other, to the other, and it all
just keep talking and doing our thing and have the gathering on the 17th of February, and we'll see how life goes until we see us in the real world.
We'll be there the 17th, Danny. We'll be there the 17th, and that'll be it.
And if you want to do your thing independently as well, we would encourage that yourself in your own local area.
We just encourage that. Just do your own thing. Wherever you're living, try and get out to the front doors. Like 1 or 2 years, or 2 years is all you need. Like if you have somebody that you can, chill out with, like go around to the front doors and talk to the people. You don't have to be looking for votes, like to talk to people, like
Yeah.
And you can just go around and speak to them, like. Tell them to vote no on this upcoming referendum. Tell them, explain, and then that's your door open to speak to them about anything. You can start getting into it. And that's what I've done in my house and stay here. Like I just had a little chat said about what was you like around the area, what would be kind of the main thing if I was to ask you, like, what would be the one thing that you'd like done around the area locally, like. And a lot of them said a football pitch or
I speak to the teenagers when I'm out and about down there, especially in the dark evenings, right? Because there's nothing really there that's lit up too much. And I say to them, lads, what's the story? What do you feel like living here? And they say, oh, shithole's boring. I said, what was it like? Like, what was it like? They're like, even a football pitch or an Astro pitch or some kind of youth. Something.
Well, you love to kind of bring back the youth centres, Donica. You remember years ago they had the youth centres where you'd all go in and have
Yeah, I remember being in the Ballymun Youth Centre when I was in Nipper. Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, when you go in, when the youth centre down there now at the moment is like it's all painted all rainbow and there's flags hanging out the windows and all like. And I walk
They're
past.
gone. They're pushing their narrative like they
Yeah,
shouldn't be doing that in these places. They shouldn't be doing that.
it's next door to the Sinn Féin office. You know what I mean? It's mad, like. But
Yeah.
I walked past one night and I had a little quick look in the window and the blind was open. And there was just 3 or 4 like young ones just kind of sitting there with 2 adults and they were just sitting there like, and I was like, all
Yeah.
right.
So you'd want somewhere like that where you'd have something for the kids to do. There's a lad here in Kilkenny. He's very good. Mel Bay is his name. If anybody in Kilkenny should, if you know him, tell him we said hello. But if you don't, check him out. He works with the youth here, part of the youth services in Kilkenny. But every week and every few weeks, he goes off, brings people off every week to do something, and every month then he'll bring you off to do, like a big thing. So I went with him there going go-kart racing one time. So I often went off for a walk with him, and then he'd ring me up then saying, Darren, this month we're going go-kart racing or we're going to go to Glendalough and we have dinner.
Is he tapped into the local resources, is he?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
So he's kind of financed a little bit. That would be a great thing to be doing, wouldn't it, Darren?
Yeah, it's very good, Donnacha. I'd love it, boy. Because it just gives someone, and not even the youth, but gives older people a thing to do as well. Like there was another time there where he rang me and they were going to meet, just going up to the old folks' homes.
Yeah.
So he went up to 3 or 4 old folks' homes, and there was only 3 or 4 of us, like. But we just went in for a cup of coffee, just sat down, had an old chinwag with a load of old people, and a load of them loved it, like just sitting down having a chat, and that's what it is. That's what just doing something like that.
I tried to get in touch with the local old folks' home there just before the whole Wuhan flu came in, and I was saying to them about coming up and visiting, maybe like singing a song or 2 or whatever, like.
Yeah.
And then the Wuhan thing came in and they went full lockdown. Like I don't think they're as inviting just yet as they used to be. I don't think. I must check that out actually.
Check it, follow up on it, sure, and check it, because it'd be good. It'd be good to do, like even just go up and what we used to meet every week, and we used to go off, just going for walks. That's what you go up for a walk. You could go to any little place around the south, around this area, like.
Well, that's what I was trying to suggest to Paulie and the Stamford area group, because he was telling us about the field in Norney. That's the biggest gathering was ever there. Was Daniel O'Connell. And
right, where's that?
Norney, just about 10 miles per hour, 5 miles per hour. And I that's what I was thinking. Maybe because a few of us could go for a walk. You know what I mean? And
we should try and sort it. Yeah, we should try and sort that out, like.
Yeah, we will.
And we'll probably get on top of trying to organise an old camping weekend, please God. I'll say that here now. So we're going to try and organise that for some time, maybe in March or April or something. But we'll let you know when. We're going to sort out a good camping session, and anybody plays the guitar and stuff, bring it along, or the drums or anything like that.
Yeah, we'll just keep tapping away, but I'll just keep tapping away.
Yeah. But
that's an hour. I think we'll call it quits in an hour, man. What do you think?
No problem. Yeah, that's sound, Dennis. Yeah, no problem, brother. Right?
Right, go on, say goodbye to everybody. Tell them
goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody. But yeah, man, thanks very much, lads. Anybody that's going to watch this, it's just, look, again, it's just the 2 of us having a chat, saying how we feel about things and not holding back about that. Yeah, just having an old chinwag, a normal fucking cup of coffee in a chinwag, yeah. And we'd love to see you come along on the 17th if any of you are there. Where's going to be at the
Mansion House, 12 o'clock.
Whereabouts?
The Mansion House.
The Mansion House, yeah, 12 o'clock. So the 17th of next month, if anybody can make it, it'd be great to see you there. And if not, just keep rocking away at what you're doing. Any of you that are running as independents, or any of you that are stepping into that arena, it'd be great to hear from you too, because I'd like to hear your personal experiences, how you're feeling about things right now, especially with family and stuff like that. Are you worried, concerned, or like that? Them kind of things.
Yeah, but, we could be your sounding board.
Yeah. But
I'll let you go, man. I'm gonna get some.
Cheers. All right, listen, Dennis. Thanks very much, lads. Thank you. Have a blessed evening.
I'll send you a message after this. Yeah, go on, be good.
Sound man. Yeah, Snow and August Banner. Cheerio.